So as you talk to business leaders and advise them, what advice are you giving them about how to position themselves best for the recovery, when it comes or however long it takes? What advice are you giving them?
I think the first piece of advice is now is probably the best time for the last 20 years for recruiting good people. You're not going to make a great boom in sales right now, but if you've got pockets deep enough to ride it, now's the best time to get talented and creative people. They're more mobile than ever before. They can be attracted in, and the price premium isn't anything like as high as it used to be. So staff up with good people would be my first piece of advice. After all, sales is unique, In almost any other area, a top performer may perform 5% better or 10% better than an average performer. In the average major sales force, the top performer, the top 10%, are outselling the bottom 10% by a factor that nearly always exceeds 3 to 1. If you can get more of that top 10% into your sales force, it's a very good growth strategy for getting out. Now's a good time to employ it. The other thing is redeploy your resources. Look hard at the kind of business you want to win. Get marketing and sales to work together to identify where are the segments where we could really make an inroad. What are the individual opportunities we should chase? If you can do that, you can do very well climbing out of this recession faster than your competitors will ever do.
So if there was one area that you would have sales leaders really focus on right now, what area would that be?
I think the first thing is it takes a cool head. A sales leader cannot panic. One of the things which tends to happen is when there's panic at a senior management level, it's amazing how that transmits itself down to customers. Sales managers become more anxious. They pressure their salespeople more. Salespeople pressure customers, and the whole thing cascades. Remember that I was saying earlier, selling safety is much more important than selling price. How does a salesperson make a customer feel this is a safe decision? It's more than anything a matter of confidence. Helping the customer feel we know where we're going, we're steady, we're professional, we're not panicking. So if I had one piece of advice to give senior management, it would be make in your behavior and the behavior of sales managers, make it clear that we are riding this one out by thought, by strategy, and not just by panic and by activity.
So as a behavioral psychologist, I mean, you know how people operate and the way they think and behave, both buyers and sellers. So what would be your advice for somebody trying to make their next big sale and alternatively somebody looking to make their next big purchase?
I'd say in each case, the crucial thing today is that there's been a transformation which the recession has rather overlaid so we don't notice how big the transformation was. The role of the salesperson's fundamentally changed. And it's not changed in a way that matches the changes in purchasing. Purchasing has become unimaginably more focused, more professional in the last 10 or 15 years. Sales still has a way to go. Purchasers are demanding, quite rightly, salespeople who don't waste their time. Salespeople who've got something useful to say. In other words, salespeople who can create customer value. We live in an era where the products don't cut it. Your product isn't sufficiently different from that of your competitors to just get the business for you. The salesperson adds as much value and sometimes more value than the product. So the advice I would give to salespeople is understand that you are a value creator, not a value communicator. Develop with customers a deep understanding of their problems and issues. And of course, as Huthwaite's research and other research over the last 40 years has shown over and over and over again, down at that tactical level, you do it by asking good questions to really understand customers. Because selling today is not about persuasion It's about understanding.
So Neil, would you still recommend sales as a good career for people to get into?
Well, you know, I think it is for a couple of reasons. If you'd asked me 15 or 20 years ago, in fact, many young, ambitious MBAs used to ask me that when I was teaching on MBA programs. Should I go into sales? I'd say no. You know, go into finance, go into marketing, because those were the people who were making the impact. But there has been a fundamental change in what makes impact in terms of a company's growth. You know, 20 years ago, a company used to grow by becoming more efficient internally. It was the era of efficiency. You'd introduce processes, you'd slim it down, you'd bring in quality. But all those things have been done. So then we entered the era of acquisition, where CEOs grew by acquiring another company. So if you acquire a company half your size, your sales have gone up 50%. And so acquisition became the way to be a rock star CEO. Well, there's no capital for acquisition now, and many people are very skeptical about it. So now we're entering the era of organic growth. And companies are growing by working to take business from their competitors, bringing marketing and sales together. And that means that marketing and sales have become very important functions. In the last year, I've had 3 firms of major headhunters come to me and ask if I could recommend a CEO for a Fortune 500 company who has a background in sales. That's not happened to me before. So I think we're entering a new era where sales and marketing become the way in which companies are going to grow. And so few senior executives know enough about selling. And I think there's a wonderful career opportunity for smart, ambitious people in sales today.
So in conclusion, what's the final piece of advice that you would have for people out there who are desperately looking for some nuggets of wisdom as they wait for this market to turn around?
Mm-hmm. I think I'd put it very simply: over-resource your best opportunities. You get no prize for coming in second. The crucial thing is, if you're going to invest in trying to build a customer today, it's going to be a big investment, and you want to make sure you're going to win. And you do that by thinking, by strategizing, by choosing the opportunity where you think you have the best chance of winning. Remember what I was saying earlier. If you wouldn't chase the business in good times, never chase it in bad. Choose your best opportunities and put twice the effort into half the opportunities, and you'll win. And that's what you need to do.
Well, thanks, Neil. It's been a real pleasure talking with you this morning, and
Well,
look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yes, thank you.